Language focus. If conditionals. Zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to express general natural facts. If you don't water plants, they die. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. Iron expands if it's heated. The first conditional. The first conditional is used for probable future situations. If you hurry, you will catch the train. If you lend me some money, I can go out. I may stay at home if it rains tomorrow. If you feel ill, visit a doctor. If a lion attacks you, you must escape. The second conditional. Second conditional is used to express possible present situations or wishes. If I lost your camera, I would buy you a new one. My father would buy a car if he had enough money. It can also be used to give advice. If I were you, I'd study hard for the test. If I were you, I wouldn't play with knives. The third conditional. The third conditional is used to express impossible situations or to regret. If you had been more careful, you wouldn't have lost your book. If the team had played well, it might have won the match. She would have passed the exam if she had studied well. Special cases. We use in case of or in the event of, followed by a noun or a verb plus ing instead of if. If you pass your tests, you will get a good job, can be written. In case of passing your test, you will get a good job. We can use had to equal if. Had I enough money, I would buy that palace. Here, we used had in the second case. Had the team played well, it might have won the match. Here, we used had in the third case. We can use were to equal if in the second conditional only. If I were rich, I'd buy that palace. Here, the word were is a main verb, so it can be said, were you rich, I'd buy that palace. If he studied hard, he would pass the test. Here, the word were is not in the sentence, but we can use it instead of if, as we say, were he to study hard, he would pass the test. So here, we changed the verb studied into to study. Negation of if. We can negate if using different ways. The first is we use if plus not. Of course, according every tense. If you don't heat water, it doesn't evaporate. If you don't study well, you won't pass your exams. I wouldn't travel if I didn't have enough money. We can also negate if using unless to equal if not. Unless you heat water, it doesn't evaporate. Unless you study hard, you won't pass your exams. I wouldn't travel unless I had enough money. Third, we use without or but for, followed by a noun or a verb plus ing. Without heat and water, it doesn't evaporate. But for hard study, you won't pass your exams. Fourth, we use if it weren't for plus a noun or a verb plus ing. But this way is used in the second conditional only. If it weren't for enough money, I wouldn't travel. Fifth, if it hadn't been for plus a noun or a verb plus ing in the third conditional only. If it hadn't been for playing badly, the team wouldn't have lost the match. If it hadn't been for bad playing, the team wouldn't have lost the match. To sum up what we have already said, the zero conditional consists of present simple, present simple. But the first, if is followed by present simple, then we use will, can, may, or must plus the infinitive, and we can also use the imperative. The second conditional, if is followed by past simple, would, could, or might plus the infinitive. Third conditional, if is followed by past perfect, and then we use would, could, or might plus have plus the past participle. Now, choose the correct answer. I wouldn't have reached this stage unless she helped, had helped, was helping, or would help me. If you hadn't spent, didn't spend, don't spend, or wouldn't spend a long time in the sun, you wouldn't have got burned. If she hadn't learned how to type, she wouldn't have written, will write, would have written, or write so many books. If he has got up, would get up, or had got up earlier, he would have caught the first plane. He wouldn't, won't, can't, or may not have gone to hospital if he hadn't been injured. Now, check your answers. Find the mistake in each of the following sentences, then write them correctly. If you heat water, it changed into steam. If you heat water, it changes into steam. He couldn't help you if he had been a doctor. He could help you if he were a doctor. Unless you aren't here on time, you won't be allowed to enter. Unless you are here on time, you won't be allowed to enter. If she had enough time, she will visit us. If she has enough time, she will visit us. Had he money, he can go to the club. Had he money, he could go to the club. Thanks for listening with Nafham. Learn easily and simply.